Hi, this is Kimber Spradlin, Senior Director, Product Marketing here at Mocha 5. I have with me today Ian McWilton, our Chief Architect, and we're going to cover the topic of CYO, something we've been getting a lot of questions on lately, Ian. So I'm going to start with the most obvious, choose your own device. That seems pretty self-explanatory, but I find when we start digging into the details, like when I'm interviewing customers for case studies, we're not always talking the same thing. So maybe you could run us through what you're seeing out in the field when you're talking to a lot of different folks.
Yeah, hi Kimber, hi guys. So it's very, very interesting. It means different things to different people. So for some people, CYO means, hey, we're going to give you a stipend, and you go out and buy any machine that you want to down at Best Buy. Right? So that's nice, right? So that's great. Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't like that? For some people, though, it means, you know, maybe you work at a corporation and they're going to give you like one machine and it's the same Dell E750, or maybe it's the Lenovo or the HP, and, you know, that's the machine that you get. And people want more choice than that. Yeah. So maybe one thing for choose your own is often that you just get, you know, a range of 20 laptops that you can get out of the corporate stack instead of just the one.
That's basically what I got when I joined Mocha 5. They offered me a MacBook Air, a couple different Windows machines, few things that were in stock, and I got to pick which one I wanted.
That's exactly right. You get a sense of choice.
Yeah, and it definitely made me a lot happier to have my nice lightweight MacBook Air. So what are some of the gotchas that companies should be looking for when they're implementing something like a CYO program?
So basically when you're looking at CYO, you need to make sure, the first thing you need to do is make sure that it's clear who owns the device. Yeah. Even though there's a degree of choice, it's still the company's device, right? And along with that comes privacy policy, right? So when you're talking about privacy policy, you need to make sure that users understand that, like, this is a company machine and you're going to be liable for anything that you're doing on it. So that needs to be part of the service that they sign up for. Right. So those are two major ones that you really need to be clear on.
Yeah, and I definitely see that people feel a little more personal about that device if they've picked it out themselves from Best Buy. Even though the company paid for it, they treat it a little bit more like a personal machine.
They do, and that's actually a benefit to the company in terms of support costs, because I think figures have shown that you're much more likely to drop it down the toilet if you've actually picked it yourself as opposed to just being handed to you. But nevertheless, you know, you should be careful what you do in it, and that needs to be very clear in the terms of ownership.
Yeah. So why exactly are companies doing CYO then? It doesn't save them any money, unlike BYO where they're kind of out of the hardware business.
Mm-hmm. Well, some companies would really like to go down the BYO route, but, you know, maybe they're not quite ready for it. Maybe there are legal issues that they're not willing to embrace. So CYO is really a way for them to take a step in that direction, but with avoiding the legal problems that can come along with that. So that's one of the ways that they can do it. The other thing is, you know, it sets hardware standards. So BYO can be you know, like a great brave new world, and then someone turns up with a machine which is 7 years old and runs on, you know, an old Celeron, right?
Right, because there's a lot more variety in the laptop world than there is even in the phone and tablet world where you see more BYO.
Absolutely right, yes. And, you know, the other thing is they might want to go down this route simply for millennial acquisition, right? So, you know, there's a lot of millennials, they're coming straight out of college, they're used to having their own machines, they're used to working on their own level of hardware. If you go giving them a big old clunky machine, that's a big turn off, and they're not going to want to come and join you because they want to be cool and have the little Apple on the back of their machine when they go to the coffee shop.
At the same time, they're coming out of college with a lot of debt and a 5-year-old laptop that may not be what they want to bring to the corporate environment.
Exactly, yeah. And, you know, the other thing is privacy, right? So, you know, a lot of companies are going down this route because people are, you know, like they're kind of bringing their own machines. You know, there's issues of privacy that go along with it. Beyond the sort of like the legal, the stipend, the how do I get my corporate data, it's about making sure that the privacy of the individual is protected.
Right. So why Mocha 5 for CYO laptops? What is it that Mocha 5 brings to the table in this scenario?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. So basically the first thing is its flexibility, right? So basically it means that you'll be able to have BYO, CYO, you know, your contractor workforce, all managed from the same situation. So you're going to take a container, you're going to put it onto a CYO machine, so someone goes to Best Buy and buys that machine, or maybe it's one of the 20 that comes out of the port, it has a vanilla image underneath, you take a container, you copy it onto that machine, that's the corporate environment where they work within, and it's really personal on the host. So Mocha 5 gives you that degree of flexibility to flip backwards and forwards between the two, on the same bit of hardware.
So really, how does that work then? Can you go walk us through a little bit more detail on exactly how Mocha 5 separates out the two?
Yeah, so what we do is I'll take you through a user flow, right? So I come and join the company, and obviously I get username and password, and I get sent a portal, right? So a URL, I go to that URL from anywhere on the internet. So, you know, maybe I'm in a coffee shop in Africa, maybe I'm on the company site and I'm on the guest Wi-Fi, right? I've got this machine that I just did choose my own for. Now I can click on a single button after I've logged in, it will download the container onto my machine, and now it's encrypted, it's separated. The container is actually the OS and app stack put inside a hypervisor.
Right.
Now, I know that sounds kind of scary. Most users don't know the difference between a hypervisor and a helicopter. So we made it nice and simple with a play and a pause button. You hit play and it launches the corporate environment. You hit pause and it stops.
So I just have one last question then. Why was my first day at Mocha 5 not in a coffee shop in Africa?
Well, if you could get that expense approved, then you'd be fine. Go for it. I think the Serengeti has some great coffee shops right now.
Well, great. Let's quit and rejoin tomorrow.
Absolutely. More machines for everyone.